look terrible. There were statements released last night. The WNBA PA, the Players Union, they're crashing out. They're crashing out, and they look less and less professional by the moment. Fans are recognizing this. There are things that I just they cannot keep this from getting personal, and it's making them look worse and worse as this thing's going on.
What if everything you think you know about the WNBA right now is only half the story? Because behind the smiles, the press releases, the tweets, and the polished interviews, the league is quietly pulling apart at the seams. And at the center of the storm, whether anyone wants to admit it or not, is Caitlin Clark. This story doesn't begin with a game. It begins with silence. For weeks, WNBA free agents have been talking quietly, not on ESPN, not on Instagram, but in private group chats, late-night calls, and conversations between agents. And when 10 different free agents start saying the same thing without coordinating, that's not noise. That's a warning. They all said the same thing in different words. The league has changed, and no one wants to say why. But everyone already knows why. Before Caitlin Clark, arenas had empty sections. Before Caitlin Clark, national conversations barely existed. Before Caitlin Clark, the league wasn't growing, it was surviving. Then she arrived. Ratings spiked overnight. Tickets disappeared in minutes. Merchandise shattered records. Sponsors finally cared. But instead of unity, what followed wasn't celebration. It was resentment.
That little core, ugly fan base that we've all experienced after the Caitlin Clark boom, they care about that kind of shit. But actual sports fans don't. Not only do they not care, they don't want to hear about it. So, let's keep going here. Players care deeply about their fans, take pride in honoring that loyalty every time they take the court. The league's tactics harm current and future players and marginalize the very people.
And now it's boiling over. The Players Union truly believed this was their moment. A new era, new leverage, a bigger audience, and more bargaining power than ever before. But the owners? They believed something very different. They believed that momentum could be managed, even controlled. The CBA deadline arrived, and then slipped right past. No agreement, no compromise, and most importantly, no panic from ownership. That's when everything split open. The union released a statement that stunned even longtime veterans, emotional, defensive, and openly angry. Within minutes, reactions poured in. Some players called it desperate, others called it embarrassing, and fans immediately spotted something that changed the entire conversation. Caitlin Clark was barely mentioned, not highlighted, not protected, not centered. The biggest draw in the sport treated like a footnote. And make no mistake, that wasn't an accident.
Are we talking about seriousness right now? Are we talking about seriousness? You said get it together. It says take accountability, pay the players, and then have a 2026 WNBA season. Oh, man. Yo, I don't know what's going on, but this isn't it. Fam, this is the quickest I've ever seen a group of players ruin their image amongst the fans, fam. Nafisa Collier specifically.
Behind the scenes, tension was building fast. Younger players began quietly voicing frustration about veterans' gatekeeping opportunities. Veterans pushed back, accusing the league of exploiting new stars while failing to invest in the foundation they built. And right in the middle of this internal war sat Caitlin Clark, doing the single most dangerous thing possible. Nothing. No tweets. No interviews. No emotional commentary. Just silence. Because her camp understood something the league didn't want to confront. If Caitlin Clark speaks, she becomes responsible. If she stays silent, the league exposes itself. Then free agents started admitting something privately, something that stunned fans the moment it leaked.
These videos, these CBA videos, and a lot of people originally was like, oh yeah, the players ought to get paid, blah, blah, blah. Now you get in the comment section, it's like, no. I mean, people are like team owner at this point. I mean, they have made them, if it's amazing that WNBA players made themselves feel even more insufferable than prior. That's amazing to me that that's even possible. A lot of people, insane statement from the PA. There we go, right there. Second comment.
The league needs her more than she needs the league. That single truth explains the panic. Owners started digging in. Meetings got shorter. Negotiations froze. The union's leverage evaporated. And then quiet whispers started circulating. Whispers that blindsided even seasoned insiders. What if she steps away? Not retiring. Not quitting basketball. Just disengaging. International options. Endorsements. Media expansion. Global branding. One executive reportedly admitted privately, "We can't survive a future where she isn't emotionally invested." And that fear isn't exaggerated. The numbers are undeniable. A massive wave of new fans entered the WNBA because of one name, one presence, one gravitational force. Fans aren't loyal to leagues. They're loyal to stars. As the chaos erupted, another narrative tried to take shape. Paige Buchers will carry the league. Players themselves shut that down instantly. They love Paige. They respect her. She's elite. But even free agents admitted quietly, Paige is great. Caitlin is seismic. There's a difference between talent and transformation. Caitlin Clark didn't just elevate the league, she disrupted it. That disruption is why some players feel exposed, why some veterans feel threatened, why the union is cracking from the inside. Because when one athlete changes the economics, the entire power structure shakes. And here's the part no TV analyst wants to say out loud.
We need Noah's Ark to survive the flood of news that's going to come in once the CBA is finished. Man, I mean, we're going to have news left and right. Y'all probably going to be tired of us YouTubers, man. When the news is getting dropped. Now, I did see something also talking about how the players are bracing for impact. They have these other gyms that they could get in and work out in because, with no CBA, they can't necessarily work out in these facilities that the WNBA owns. So, yeah, man, they are preparing for the worst, but, man, they need to get this done, man. Honestly, the last thing you guys want to do is add any more negative impact to you.
The league's survival strategy quietly shifted. Instead of building around Caitlin Clark, they tried to dilute her impact, spread the spotlight, control the narrative, balance the coverage, keep power centralized. But fans weren't fooled. Attendance follows her. Viewership follows her. The entire conversation follows her. So when the league left her out of key CBA messaging, fans didn't turn on Caitlin. They turned on the league. Free agents began worrying about their future. Not because of Caitlin's rise, but because without her gravitational pull, everything shrinks. Contracts, visibility, opportunity. One agent reportedly told a player, "If this goes sideways, there won't be money left to fight over." That's how serious the situation is. This isn't jealousy anymore. This is survival. Young players are frustrated because they feel ignored. Veterans are frustrated because they feel replaced. Owners are calm because they assume time is on their side. But here's the truth. Time only favors relevance. And without Caitlin Clark, the league knows exactly what disappears first.
People saying, well, it's been real, WNBA, I'm going to go back to watching football now. Like, I'll be back when Caitlin plays again, or I'll be back when the Indiana Fever play because now I'm an Indiana Fever fan. There was a moment here that I think if the commissioner, if she would have been brave enough to put her foot down and be like, hey, you know what? We're leaning all the way into this. And I'm sorry if you guys are upset about it, but we're going to lean all the way in because I believe that this is going to help everyone. We're going to lean all the way in because this is a great player and she's bringing so many eyeballs to this league that we have deserved to have for many years. And now we have them. So all this other crap, cut it out. I'm going to set up this department in the WNBA. I know that a lot of you guys aren't used to having this much.
And relevance follows Caitlin Clark, which is why her silence is so dangerous for the league. Every day she says nothing, the pressure grows. Every game she plays while refusing to engage in the politics. The contrast becomes impossible to ignore. Fans are asking the questions the league least wants to answer. Why isn't the biggest star the face of negotiations? Why is the players' union suddenly fractured? Why does it feel like everyone is afraid to even say her name? Because acknowledging her power changes the entire landscape. It forces the league to admit dependence. It forces owners to negotiate honestly. It forces the union to confront reality. And right now, nobody wants to face any of that. This is why free agents are speaking up. This is why leaks keep hitting the media. This is why the entire narrative feels unstable. The WNBA is standing at a crossroads. Build around the star who transformed the sport, or pretend the sport transformed itself. Fans aren't watching passively anymore. They're choosing sides. And if the league chooses wrong, they won't just lose Caitlin Clark the player. They'll lose Caitlin Clark the magnet. And once that goes, no statement, no PR spin, no campaign will bring that gravity back.